In a world where celebrity romances are often plagued by drama, flashbulbs, and fleeting headlines, one couple has found peace in the quiet rhythm of love. In an exclusive, heartwarming reveal that has sent waves across social media, Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young, two of Korea's most beloved stars, have opened up about their serene, blossoming relationship, how it all began, and how love found them when they least expected it. This isn't just a story about two famous people falling in love, it's about finding calm in the chaos, laughter in the silence, and companionship in a world full of noise. They first captured fans' hearts as the adorable leads in the 2020 K-drama True Beauty, where their on-screen chemistry as Suho and Ju Kyung became the stuff of legend. But what most didn't know was that their love story was beginning quietly behind the scenes, long before anyone could imagine. Moon Ga-young revealed in the exclusive interview, "It started with a cup of coffee. We were shooting late into the night, and Eun-woo offered me his extra latte, saying, 'I think you need this more than I do.' It sounds so small, but that moment stuck with me." Cha Eun-woo smiled at the memory. She looked so tired that day, but still gave everyone on set a warm smile. "I just wanted to see her smile for real." That tiny gesture sparked something neither of them expected. As filming progressed, so did their bond. From script readings that lasted hours to quiet, shared dinners after wrap, they became each other's safe haven amid the chaos of stardom. Their dates weren't extravagant. There were no paparazzi-laced getaways or high-profile restaurant sightings. Instead, they found joy in simplicity. One evening, while both were scheduled for a break between shoots, Eun-woo invited Ga-young to a hidden rooftop garden he had discovered in Hanam-dong. He had it softly lit with fairy lights and brought a picnic basket full of her favorite snacks. The two of them, under a canopy of stars, talked for hours about dreams, fears, childhood, and the loneliness that sometimes came with fame. She had a way of looking at the sky as if she could read poetry in the stars, Eun-woo said, his voice tender. "That night, I knew. I just knew." But it wasn't until a quiet moment months later, when Ga-young was hospitalized briefly for exhaustion, that everything changed. Eun-woo, despite his packed schedule, stayed by her side every day, bringing her flowers, reading her favorite books, and holding her hand while she slept. "That was the moment I realized," Ga-young said, her voice cracking slightly. "He wasn't just someone I liked. He was my person." One might expect a dramatic declaration, but the truth was far softer. It was after filming had officially wrapped, Eun-woo shared. "We were both a little emotional. Everyone was going their separate ways. I looked at her and said, 'You know, I'm not ready for this to be over.' She looked back and said, 'Then let's not let it be.' No roses. No dramatic music. Just two hearts that quietly agreed to walk together." From that moment on, they began nurturing their relationship, privately, gently, away from prying eyes. Theirs wasn't a romance for the cameras, it was real, sacred, and deeply personal. One of the most surprising things about Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young's relationship is how peaceful it is. In an industry filled with flashing lights and relentless schedules, they've created a haven of calm between them. "We have this rule," Ga-young explained. "No phones when we're together. Whether it's 10 minutes or 10 hours, that time is just for us." Their favorite activities? Reading books together on lazy Sundays. Cooking ramen at midnight. Watching old black and white films. Taking long walks along the Han River disguised in caps and masks. Eun-woo laughed. "She always insists on making the kimchi stew, but mine's better. She just won't admit it." Arguments are rare, and when they happen, the couple has a pact: no sleeping angry. They talk things through, even if it takes all night. "I think it helps that we were friends first," Ga-young said. "We learned to understand each other without judgment. And we've always had this unspoken respect." Trust is the cornerstone of their relationship. Both stars are constantly in the public eye, but jealousy has no place between them. "We know what it means to be in this industry," Eun-woo said. "Fans, co-stars, travel, it's part of our lives. But we also know who we go home to. And that's never in doubt." Ga-young added, "There's this quiet comfort in knowing someone sees you, not the fame, not the image, just you. And loves you anyway." They've even developed subtle signs for each other on set, a way to communicate silently in public. A hand over the heart means I miss you. A pinky tap means let's go home soon. For a long time, the couple remained silent about their romance, choosing to protect their peace. But after 3 years of dating, they decided to finally open up. We didn't want it to be a secret, Eunwoo said. But we also didn't want it to be a circus. Now felt right. Fans have been overwhelmingly supportive, flooding social media with love and nostalgia for their True Beauty days. Even fellow celebrities have chimed in with support. Astro members reportedly knew from the beginning. We used to tease him about the way he smiled whenever she texted, one member said. While neither is rushing down the aisle, the couple has openly talked about their hopes for the future. We've talked about living in the countryside someday, Ga Young said dreamily. A house with a garden, a few dogs, maybe a piano. Something far from all the noise. Eunwoo nodded, and kids. I want 3. She says 2, but we'll see who wins. Professionally, both are thriving. Eunwoo is preparing for his next drama role and expanding his music career. Ga Young is currently filming a period romance set in the Joseon era. But through it all, they anchor each other. No matter how high we climb, Ga Young said, we'll always have each other's hands to hold. Perhaps the most beautiful scene from their story happened quietly, away from any camera, on a rainy day in Jeju Island. While on a private vacation, they got caught in a sudden downpour. Instead of running for cover, Eunwoo pulled Ga Young close, wrapped his jacket around her, and they stood there, laughing in the rain. It was cold, and we were soaked, Ga Young recalled. But at that moment, I felt warmer than I ever had. Eunwoo smiled and said, she looked at me like I was her whole world. And I guess, that's exactly what she is to me. In an industry built on spectacle, Cha Eunwoo and Moon Ga Young have built something truly rare, a love that whispers rather than shouts, that heals instead of hurts. Theirs is not a fairy tale of grand gestures or dramatic twists. It's a poem written in quiet moments, shared glances, and silent promises. And in that simplicity lies its extraordinary beauty. They've shown the world that sometimes, the loudest kind of love is the one that doesn't need to be loud at all. And as the stars continue to rise in their separate careers, one thing remains certain. They'll keep walking forward, not in front of the cameras, but side by side, where love feels most real. If the first chapter of Cha Eunwoo and Moon Ga Young's love story read like a dreamy romance novel, then this continuation dives even deeper into the quiet, intimate beauty that surrounds their bond. After capturing hearts with their warm, sincere confessions about how their relationship began, the couple is now pulling back the curtain a bit further, revealing more unseen, heart-fluttering moments and the tender rituals that have made their love story one of the most admired in K-entertainment. It turns out, it wasn't just a shared latte that ignited the flame. During the shooting of True Beauty, there was a peculiar habit the two unknowingly created: late-night studio talks. After most of the crew had left and the soundstage lights dimmed, Ga Young and Eunwoo often found themselves lingering behind. Not for retakes, not for work, but for comfort. I don't know how it started, Eunwoo laughed softly. But we would just sit on the floor, scripts in hand, and talk. Sometimes for minutes, sometimes for hours. We talked about life, family, the stress of being in the spotlight, and sometimes we just sat there in silence. It was healing. These private moments became sacred. Ga Young once brought a thermos of ginger tea during one of these talks and playfully told him, "This is for the soul. Drink it, and maybe you'll stop bottling things up." Eunwoo chuckled, it worked. She became my soul's tea. That was the moment things shifted. Feelings deepened, and the quiet companionship turned into something undeniable. While filming a key romantic scene in True Beauty, Moon Ga Young made a bold, heartwarming move that even surprised Eunwoo. In one of the library scenes, Ga Young shared, "I slipped a tiny post-it inside one of the fake books on the shelf. It said, if we ever read this again years from now, I hope you're still beside me." Eunwoo found it weeks later. "I didn't even know she had done that," he said. "I opened a random book during a break and saw the note. My heart just paused. I didn't say anything. I just looked at her from across the set. And she smiled like she already knew. It was subtle. Unspoken. But in that moment, they both knew what was growing between them was no longer just fiction. The day Cha Eun-woo confessed his feelings wasn't under the cherry blossoms or on a beach in Bali. It happened on Moon Ga-young's birthday. Quietly. Genuinely. At her apartment. She had invited only a few close friends, but Eun-woo showed up late, after finishing a live event. He arrived with a single slice of strawberry cake, a worn-out guitar, and a nervous smile. He said, "Everyone gave you presents, but I want to give you a song," Ga-young remembered. And right there, in the corner of her living room, he strummed a simple melody and sang a self-written tune titled Even If It's Just Us. The lyrics: "Even if it's not loud, if it's just us. In quiet corners, with soft trust. Even if the world is big and bright. Your hand in mine is all that feels right." There wasn't a dry eye in the room, one of the guests shared later. He didn't say the words "I love you," but he didn't need to. That night, they officially started dating. But to them, it felt like they had been in love long before that. While most celebrity couples are surrounded by glitz, Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young found peace in the mundane. There's a small neighborhood bookstore in Seoul they frequent regularly, wearing caps and masks. The owner knows them only as Jihoon and Mina, the alias names they gave to keep things private. They have a corner in the back, with beanbags and tea. Sometimes they don't even talk. Just reading side by side, exchanging smiles over book pages. "We don't need grand dates," Ga-young said. "A cozy bookstore, 2 cups of tea, and his hand on my knee, that's my kind of perfect." Another favorite date. Visiting random convenience stores across Seoul late at night and buying one snack they've never tried before. It's become a tradition. "It's silly," Eun-woo laughed, "but somehow, she turns even instant noodles into memories." One of the strongest pillars in their relationship is what they call their no matter what rule. "It's something we made early on," Eun-woo explained. "No matter how busy, tired, or upset we are, we must talk for at least 5 minutes before bed. No excuses." Even when he's overseas filming or Ga-young is on a night shoot, they'll video call or send a voice message. "She once called me from a rainstorm set, soaked to the bone, just to say goodnight," Eun-woo shared. That's love. They even have a shared journal, physically passed between them during busy weeks, where they write entries, doodles, or love notes for each other. "It's our love letter across time," Ga-young said. "Something to read when we miss each other." After 3 years of keeping their romance sacred and private, the couple recently made the decision to go public. "We didn't want to be a secret," Ga-young said. "We just wanted to build something strong before we let the world in." Now, with a solid foundation of trust and years of memories, they're ready to share their joy with the fans who've supported them all along. Fans have responded with overwhelming love, creating tribute videos, posting fan art, and even organizing a special light display along the Han River in celebration of their relationship reveal. The article closed with 2 powerful reflections from the stars themselves. Moon Ga-young. "Here's my calm in a storm. My favorite chapter. My late-night tea and my early morning sun." Cha Eun-woo. "She's my quiet melody. My peace in a world of noise. And my forever even if it's just us." And with that, the world collectively sighed. In a whirlwind industry where love often flickers and fades, Cha Eun-woo and Moon Ga-young have shown us what it means to build something quiet, deep, and eternal. A love that doesn't need headlines to shine. A love that grows in the silence. A love that truly feels like home.